get the pleasure of being up here today to introduce our special guest, that is very, very loving and kind, and we've had a great conversation while we were up here, and I had a great conversation with her on Friday. So I would like to read the bio and introduce the speaker. Dr. Charles is here as this wonderful special guest, and we're very excited for her to come. So she is the new CEO of Edgar Cayce's Association for Research and Enlightenment. One of my favorite places, by the way. The Bamboo Garden. That is my favorite place. Okay, I love the Bamboo Garden. So the Virginia Beach-based Legacy organization is now 90 years old, and I did not know that. And has named Reverend Nicole Charles to be the position of CEO. I picked that look for the common ground because everybody has different backgrounds, and I feel that we're all coming together in unity, and that was the song I felt, and I was guided to pick for you. So the ARE, it offers a variety of programs, services, and publications and membership outreach for personal transformation and healing of the body, mind, and spirit. An ordained interfaith minister, Dr. Charles has earned her bachelor's degree in social science and community health from the College of New Rochelle, a master's degree in integrative health from Georgian Court University, and a doctorate in interfaith theology, concentrating on spirituality and health from the New Seminary of Interfaith Studies. She taught courses in community health, integrative nutrition, and behavior health at both the undergraduate and graduate levels. Dr. Charles' lengthy career has focused on executive management and in nonprofit and higher education services or sectors. She is an extensive traveler through Africa and the Caribbean. Dr. Charles has done in-depth research into the Afro-spiritual traditions and indigenous natural medicine. She has also studied the commonalities between all people, culture, and religions. Dr. Charles says in a news release that she now seeks to honor the Cayce legacy and create new opportunities for greater access, growth, and transformative change. Advancing these efforts will increase the participation and engagement for the individual, the family, and the community of our world. Quoted by Dr. Charles. So please join us in welcoming Dr. Charles to the Metaphysical Chapel of Life, and we look forward to hearing what she has to say.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you so very much for the invitation. Thank you so very much for this opportunity for us to have some morning breakfast. Let's hope we get nourished this morning. I know that some of you know about the ARE, Edgar Cayce's Association for Research and Enlightenment. But for those of you who don't know, I wanted to just kind of give a little bit of background. Edgar Cayce, you can find there's so much in depth, but of course I want to say for you to go to the website because that is where the original readings are held of this incredible man. But the biggest thing I want to focus on today is you and I. The Association for Research and Enlightenment stands for what we are doing here today. We're an association together by common ground. We're all grouped together to learn, to grow, to be spiritually nourished. Well, that's the association. But what does the research stand for? Well, like any study, you have to kind of get to understand it, come with a question, pose it. What is its purpose of the study? And so now we'll ask you, what is the purpose of your life? For you are the study, you are the research, and you are the best person who can uncover what it means for your life. But when you get to find the study and begin to have the answers of that, then you move into what's next, enlightenment. Now you know. When you get to know more, you begin to do more. It's kind of like I studied my life and now I know a little bit better. So now you become enlightened, which in the Eastern religions would be called the Buddha, the enlightened one. And so you are the best one who becomes enlightened to your life. So coming into that was now this enlightenment. And so there's a journey we're about to take, and I hope that it supports you. I'm going to share with you a process that I just went through literally a few days ago. And I had to do something. I had to write for the organization's magazine. And this was my first full feature that I had to do. So they give you 5,000 words, 4,500 to 5,000 words. And I was like, okay, I got a problem. Right? Because I'm the one who said, I'm going to write. I volunteered myself. Oh, I got it. We don't have to search for someone. I'll do it. So I got up early in the morning, went to the job. I'm like, let me get away from home so I could just really flow, be at work. I get to work at 7 o'clock, I think it was, and I'm pulling all my books down, the research, being the academic I am. So I'm doing all this, got all the research, brought some of Casey's readings down because I'm gonna do it. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, crickets. Matter of fact, there wasn't even crickets. It was nothing. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, nothing. I'm pacing. I've had about 8 cups of tea right now. I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? I read again. What's happening? I keep reading. I'm reading. I've been through 2 books doing research. I'm reading now volumes. I'm now on the internet. When should I start? How should I start? What's going on? I came to this organization as an outsider, and I was putting this pressure on myself to be just so perfect for those who have been in this organization forever. I needed to be perfect. I needed to show them that I'm okay, that I want to uphold your work, that I matter, that I'm important too. I promise you I'm not going to let you down. I chose this, holistic health. After all, my degree is in it. My degree's in it. I know this stuff. So in Casey, God, source, creative forces, divine forces, there's an interchanging of words. You find yours, you could call it butternut lettuce. I don't care. Just know that we're talking about the same thing, this power, this thing we can't comprehend. And I needed to write it and I couldn't. And it's times like this when we forget because we get caught up in other people's stories. We get caught up in, I need them to like me. I need them to see me. I need them to like what I'm about to say, what I'm about to do. I need to impress them. Simply put, my ego was ahead of what I was supposed to do, which was to serve, to be in service, to bring the knowledge of who we are to the forefront, to remind people in the article what we are about, the organization, but who we are because of whose we are. So I got caught up in my ego. And when we really look at the ego, we have to stop sometimes because I wasn't moving. And sometimes when you're saying you're going to do, but who was I doing it for? Was I really doing it based upon service of spirit, or was I doing it on my own terms? So I couldn't write. I wasn't being led. I was trying to lead. Casey says, not my will, but thine be done in and through me. Reading 262-3. No, I forgot that little piece, not my will. And I was putting everybody else. Matter of fact, I had everybody at the table except the major person, spirit, source, the creative forces. Everybody else was dining and enjoying. But my purpose, I left. Matter of fact, I didn't even invite them at the table. Wasn't even invited. Don't you come here, I know what I'm doing. What are we reflecting? I'm saying I can write this, but what am I vibrating at? Can I write what I'm talking about if I'm not living it? I was being asked to stop and to observe, what are you writing? Because you can only write if you're living it. So let me ask you, how are we living our lives? How are we living our lives? But yet I'm spiritual. What does that mean? Is it because you walk around in linen in the summer? Is it because you got a pocket full of rocks known as crystal? Is it because you smell like patchouli? What is spirituality? Spirit is the life, Casey states. He starts with spirit is the life. That means everything that is here, even plastic, must use natural resources. Everything that is here, spirit is the life, is the foundation. It is only that exists, which we are. So if I am of that which I am from, how can I be disconnected from it? Spirit is the life. Because we can only reflect where we are at the time we are living in it. Our awareness is what matters. How can I support you in bringing forth the organizational mission to bring forth profound change in body, mind, and spirit? If spirit is not at the forefront of why I'm doing it, because who was at the forefront was everybody else. How many times do we let others dictate our peace? How many times do we let others write our story? You have a choice to write your story, or do you choose to let other people write it? Choose to get the ghostwriters. Do you allow others to tell you where you need to place the characters of this thing called life, this story? And how is your story looking? Is it a horror story? How is life looking now? Be honest. You ain't gotta tell me, tell yourself. Is it a love story? And who are you loving? I hope you're in the first character of that love. Because so many times we put so many others in front of that love story. I love me because you love me. Because I can't love me if I don't know how much you love me, because we value another's more than we value our own story. Who are we loving? Spirit is the life. I love me because I love God. I love the divine. I love the source. I love that which I am, because that makes me take care of this thing called the temple of life. How are we standing in its beauty? Or are we forgetting? Are we standing at the tree of life? Which side are we on? The side that comes with the sun that brings us anew, that we can bask in it and know that there's a new possibility, a new day? Or do we stand in the shadow of the shade and forget, and it's cold there? It might be cool, it might be, but it's going to get cold. Where do we stand on the tree of life? What side? My mind was building havoc that day. And if we say that God is all there is and God is goodness, then if I am not bringing forth that goodness of me, what am I bringing forth? My opposite, the chaos. But Casey speaks about the duality. We're always looking for the goodness of God. God is also, that's the free will we have. That negative and positive must be there for you to have your free will to make the choice of life. It's a choice. Everything you do is a choice. It's a choice to live in God's goodness, and a choice to stay not of that and be separated by that, which therefore is the havoc, the chaos. Some people call it the devil. I just call it my own madness. Enter into the silence and listen, and you will come to hear the answering of many things that you have been searching for. But do not just be a hearer of words, but do what you have come to know, as this is why you learn. Casey's reading 39-5. Let's enter into the silence. When we enter into the silence, it kind of is like, I'm gonna meditate now. I'm gonna take it down. For those of you who are new to metaphysics, or those of you who are new to these kind of truths that we all are kind of somewhat connected with, meditation and prayer are two very different things. Two very different things. Prayer is a conversation. We're kind of telling God, this is what I need, this is what I want. Oh, I love you, God, but can you please get me out of this hell? Can I please get that money for the bill? Can I please get out of this job? Can I please get rid of this neighbor? We're usually supplicating, asking for something. Oh, I love you, God, but you need to do this by this date, this time. Meditation is listening to the answer. It is getting quiet to hear and removing our ego to live in our truth. It is removing the ego to live in our truth. Because otherwise we are then going by our desires, which is not real. It is a perception. I like broccoli, you hate it. Does it make it right or wrong? It's just a perspective. So what you think of as, oh, this is horrible, might be my girl, get over. There are degrees of one's consciousness. So where's your consciousness? If you begin to merge yourself with the divine, you will find that your consciousness will expand and fear will have less of a bark in your life. That dog will no longer bite at the heels of you because you realize barking is just a part of it, just a moment of it. So if we remember to go into almost this quiet, to stop the chatter of what I must do, how it has to happen, when I have to do it, why I have to do it, oh my goodness, if I don't do it. And if we get to that place where the master teacher, Jesus says in Matthew 6:6, enter into your closet and lock your door and pray in secret, and the one who sees in secret will reward you. Sometimes we have to make a big deal of it. I need to meditate. Yes, I'm going to go meditate. I have to get off the phone now. Right? Right? We make this big movement about our meditation in secret. Because you don't need to show off to anybody. It is your relationship. If you need to tell people, that's kind of religiosity. Let me tell you about what it is. Show what it is by who you will become. It will begin to reflect into the world. It will reflect. Because when we have to talk about it, that is the ego. I'm not saying you don't come to be reminded, to be refreshing and nourished to start of the day. I'm saying the ego is never, nor can it ever live in secret because it's loud. It is loud. It emotes. It's energy in motion. And it can't be contained. It cannot move in silence. As a matter of fact, it cannot even exist in the darkness. Go into the closet. Where's the darkness? Because it always needs the light to show itself, perform, to get the adulation it seeks. Look at me. How you doing? Only in the darkness, upon entering into the closet, can we find this thing called the kingdom. It resides within us. It is built by us. The journey always begins within. It never is outside. Never, ever. So when I'm going through this, I gotta write, I gotta help people, but I can't help myself. And I'm having this fight. And sometimes when we're getting into arguments with people, it's usually because we're having an argument with ourselves first. So if I'm fighting me, who's getting hurt? Both of us. Both of us will be hurt. I can't give you any good if I can't give myself good. If I can only hear my voice and I'm arguing with you, it's because I can't hear my own story unfolding. And I need you to hear it because it's more important than your story. So when we are going through havoc within our lives, let's begin to step back and listen within so we can hear the story that we are being guided to rewrite the story that we're in. Because the divine, the creative forces is something that is always reminding us, this is temporary, this too shall pass, this can't be forever. It's just a moment in time. It's just one moment and you are bugging out and look how old you are and you've made it through every single story, saga, drama series. You are the Emmy Award winner. And we forget that. When we're caught up in it, we forget that we've got to do so much more. But see, you pass by that. That's the consciousness. That's the awareness. That's the evolutionary process, that we never have to stay where we are. We are always growing, ever evolving. It is not a place you have to go to. Yes, the Edgar Casey ARE has retreats, conferences, and trainings. I ask that you please come. But I also know you don't have to go away to arrive. It is where you stand right at this moment. Where you sit in that chair is your arrival at the place of your beauty, of your power, of your strength. It is God made manifest in the flesh. And you are that. I'm a child of God. No, I am not. I'm an adult. As long as I stay a child, I don't grow up. As long as I stay a child, I never say, it is my responsibility to be more. I am, not the me we speak to, not the lower self. Not the one dictated by the small me, the I am. The I am. That's who we are. And we forget that because we get so caught up into, I gotta make you like me. What do I present myself to be? Ricky Byers Beckwith's song, I release, I let go, I let the spirit run my life. Let's keep writing. Let's keep letting that spirit run our lives. Question, are we really letting go? Are we really letting it go? Are we holding fast? Casey talks about cooperation. And it's usually cooperation for the other person. How do we cooperate? Make sure we're moving in tandem with each other, not for ourselves, but for the others so that we can bring it together. Well, I want to say, I hope you're cooperating with yourself, because if you can't cooperate with yourself, you can't cooperate with me. We must learn to like who we are. We must learn the ugly is just as beautiful, because the ugly lets you know what needs to get prettied up. And sometimes if it's all beautiful, you would not appreciate this thing called your life. If you really look, every single fall has been the benefit for your growth. It has brought you here. And now you have a story to tell someone else. Life is hard, but it still is beautiful. Because I was letting everyone tell me that I was not enough when I was writing that, and I couldn't write it because I wasn't feeling I was enough. 6'1" Black woman wasn't enough. I was playing small, though God reminded me, I put you in this body because you would always play small, but I'm going to remind you, stand up tall. And I am that. I've hated being tall and big-footed. Goodness gracious, what a mess. But I am who I am. How much time I have?
5 more minutes.
5 more minutes.
As long as you want.
Love. Love. What is that? How have you defined it for most of your life? Did it come from a childhood story? Did you see it growing up? Did you get it? Maybe not, but it's in you. Whether or not your parents stayed together or not, that action, that feeling that they both did coming together created you, and it was within the acts of love. So you could only be that which you were born into. I was raised in foster care, but I still know my mother loved me. She just couldn't do what she could do. And that took a lot of time to me to heal that and get over it. And I still have my crossroads. But when we know better, we do better. And at the time, she didn't know better. But she still made sure I was fed it. She made sure she loved me when she could. And I've had to learn what love is based upon learning who God is, because she couldn't do it. And I've learned what love is because I had to find it out on my own terms. So who is your love story? The Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu states, more words count less, hold fast to the center. The center is the midpoint, is our balance. It is not extreme, nor tight, nor rigid. It is not loose. It is unordered or undone. It is the balance that allows us to bring in the divine forces. It is the center. It is the focus of our lives. It shows up in acts of love, kindness, and graciousness, and asks us to never be too much of anything that brings harm, only to be the best of ourselves, because that is what we were born to be. In the Kabbalah, there's a term about the manifestation of the works of humanity. It's called Jehovah Eloha Ta'uth, meaning God made manifest in the sphere of the mind. And at the heart of our lives, our health, our state of wellness, and our well-being is the mind setting in motion our reality. So what are you building? Each brick is a thought, and each brick gets laid down. Think of what the edifice will be. What will it become? Will it shelter you well? Will it provide warmth when the world feels cold? Will it be the place of refuge that others seek when there are places of discord? Your actions speak so loud, no one can hear what you're saying. That's Emerson. Let us build palaces where comfort resides and heaven is on earth. Health is our everything. Health is our faith. Health is our healing. It is our mental state. And it allows us to handle the ways. Spirit is the life. Mental or mind is the builder. What are we building? And physical is the result, cause and effect. If sometimes what speaks to us a disruption of our lives is a reminder of where we need to be, it's a reminder of our health is being affected. Because remember, our health is balanced. You get a cold, you're not balanced. So like, for example, if you get a sore throat, there's a metaphysical disruption. Are you not speaking your truth? What are you holding on to that's so painful to speak about? The body does speak. We must begin to learn to listen to it. My difficulty in writing came from the fear of judgment from others and the fear that I am not enough. My communication became dammed up, and when I centered to enter into the silence, to enter into the holy of holies, I found that place that does not allow fear to enter or for others to write the story. I simply returned to being authentically me. The water, drink of these waters and you'll never thirst. That power of faith turned on it and it flowed freely. This journey is temporary, though it sometimes, my friends, seem like it's forever. Enjoy every minute of it. Every moment, enjoy this journey. You only got this one. You have this one time. So hold on and remember to meditate on the things that uplift you. Pray and you will know that you are not alone. And laugh often, for laughter is the medicine of the soul. Find joy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. A lot of questions we need to ask ourselves. And you provoked them. Thank you. Blessings to you.